Hey, how's it going? We got a full revamp of the talent tree for Survival Hunter. Like, what? I did not expect this. This made me super happy. I'm gonna go through first impressions of the new Hunter talent tree, the new Survival Hunter talent tree, give some first impressions. We also got a new mastery change. Did not expect any of this. I'm super happy. We haven't had anything throughout the whole of Dragonflight. I was starting to get really down about the spec. It's not been good for a while, but I'm gonna go through it anyway. Yeah, first impressions. Haven't played with anything yet. So I think first we're going to look at the new mastery, because the mastery has been so bad for such a long time. If you look on the left hand side, it's in red. It's old. It's out of here. It's gone. We don't have to think about it ever again, because it didn't work very well with the spec. It was bad in so many ways. It's gone though. If you look on the right in the green text, you'll see this new fancy mastery, and it's mediocre. It's not very. I'm not super hyped for it. It's like if you have a little read over it. You and your pet, you deal increased damage depending on how much mastery you have. You take reduced damage. I think it's a flat amount. I don't think that actually increases with mastery. And then this bonus is increased by 100% when you're within 25 yards of your pet. First issue. What that really reads is you deal X amount of damage, you take reduced damage, and this amount is halved whenever your pet is off doing its own thing, which is a lot because pet AI doesn't work very well. It hasn't worked for a long time. Your pet, he just likes to go on adventures. He likes to do his own thing. There'll be times where he's off, I don't even know what, and you can't really have much control over that. So yeah, I get the theme is you and your pet, you're fighting side by side as a team, uniting as one. Wow. The issue is your pet doesn't want to be a team. It wants to go and, you're on Senath, it wants to go fly in the air and fight Senath from behind. For some reason, it's miles away from you. You have no control. You can't bring your pet back. He's off. He's miles away. And in those scenarios, you're not going to have this damage bonus, and it's going to feel really bad. Thing is with this mastery, it's versatility. It's just versatility. The little extra pet thing that's just an annoyance, really. It's like versatility but more awkward, which take that as you will. If you find versatility fun and you like awkwardness, then sure. I don't know if I like it that much. I think I like it more than the old one still, I think. I don't know. I'm mixed. It's new. New's exciting. This is new. Wow. Look at this. Versatility with I don't know. I'm not hyped about the mastery, but I am hyped about the talents. I want to talk about talents because I'm actually excited about these. Let's check them out. Because there's a lot. If you have a look at this talent tree, it's pretty damn different. It's a whole different shape. We've got a star going on now. I can't remember what it was before, but it wasn't a star. So, we got, wow, incredible. Look at that shape. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the general hunter tree, just kind of go through all the changes and what's different, what's new, just going through the talents. I don't really know how to do this, so I'm just gonna go through with crit. This is the exact same improved kill shot, because you have to take kill shot. You get it straight away off the get-go. This is still here, and then post haste and natural mending, these are both moved up. They were further down the tree before. They were like down here, and then they're a bit high. Well, post haste was around here, but they're both right at the top now, so you take them both. They do the same thing. Natural mending it's been buffed a little bit, I think. I'm pretty sure you had to spend more focus before, so cool. Rejuvenating Wind also moved up the tree and really strong, so you take it. And his Avoidance also moved up the tree. It was down here, now it's up here. Strong, you take it. This thing's still here, the Mend Pet thing, I guess for PvP. This is just for PvE, I don't touch PvP, but this is the most pointless talent ever. Still here though, so, still rocking strong with the extra heals for your pet. That never comes up ever. I don't mean never. Tar Trap, you take it, you kind of have to take it because you want to get Wilderness Survival. Survival of the Fittest, and it's locked behind either taking one of these two, so you take Tar Trap, because at least it has some use. Survival of the Fittest it doesn't have the tooltip here, but it's a little bit different. They've removed some of the talents before. When you took talents that aren't there anymore, it would increase, so it would reduce all damage you take by 40% for however long, not very long. Now it's down to 30%, but you've got these extra talents which buff it out and make it extra good. Tranquilizing Shot, the exact same, it's just Dispel. Concussive Shot you'll never take, so you can ignore it. Entrapment, also, you never took it before really, you're still not really going to take it. It's a confusing talent, I've never seen it come up. I guess it's a PvP thing, so I don't know, we ignore it. Muzzle still there, the Interrupt, which is, cool. We have the same Interrupt, not really much to say about that. This is new. We got Kodo Tranquilizer and Devil Saw Tranquilizer. We've got a choice node for Tranquilizing Shot, which the first one doesn't really do anything at all in PvE. I think it's more of a PvP thing. The second one might come up, the Devil Saw one, it might do. It's very niche. I can't think of a time it'll come up, but it might do. This might be a dungeon where you need to remove a magic effect or whatever. More often than 5 seconds. Who knows? It's there though, if that ever comes up. Misdirection, you take it. Of course you're going to take it. It's handy. Why not, right? Scare Beast, on the other hand, why is it still here? What, like, seriously, why is Scare Beast still here? Maybe is it a PvP? It's got to be a PvP thing, right? Because even if there's a beast you want to scare and CC, there's way better ways to do it than press Scare Beast. Scare Beast has a cast time. It costs focus for some reason. Why isn't this like Control Undead, but for beasts, you know? Like, you scare a beast into being your pet for a little bit and it follows you around in a dungeon and then you can cancel it later and kill it off. But, like, at least that has use. Why is this still here? I don't know. Anyway, padded armor. Extra charge if survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. Our big defensive cooldown. Get an extra charge in it. You crazy? It's insane. We're going to be one of the tankiest specs in the game. Like, not even kidding. This is a big deal. A very big deal. Especially with all the one-shots going on and everything. Everybody's complaining about those. If they persist, and there's loads of one-shots in dungeons, we're going to be so prepared for it. So yeah, huge. And then this one just reduces the cooldown as Survival of the Fittest and increases its duration. It's a win-win. Yeah, just really good. You can use it more often. And it also reduces the cooldown of our interrupt as well. You kidding me? This little package right here? Oh, it's so good. And what else is so good? Dealing extra bomb damage. Oh, we're always going to take that. Insta-take. And then this is just extra... This was here before. Extra focus whenever you trank something. It's fine. It never really matters, but it's there. It's easier to take now, I think. So, yeah, maybe you take it. No hard feelings. More like... Next, because it sucks. Got him. Oh god, what is it? Why? This is pointless, right? Like, solo content? Yeah, sure. I like the icon. It's like a little polar bear. It's cool, right? Look at that guy. Never gonna take it, but... Next one. Scout's Instincts. You can't be slowed. This might come up on boss, maybe. Otherwise, you're never gonna take it, but... Very niche. But it's an option. It's there. Nice. Stun, you're probably going to take this all the time in Mythic Plus. Well, you should take it all the time in Mythic Plus because it's a stun. And then you got Explosive Shot. It's damage, take it. And Binding Shot is... Oh, Binding Shot's different now, actually. So we'll take this one so we can... It glows up the icon and now we can potentially take it if we wanted to. So Binding Shot is... It used to be a stun. It's now a root. It says on the tooltip that it's still a stun. That's false information. It's old news. It's a root now, which is better because the stun is such a short time and it's so hard to get the stun to work. You have to move the mobs. It's just awkward. It sometimes ruins and messes up your group's AoE stun rotation. So it is better being a root. It's kind of pointless though. It's not nearly as good as it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, this thing was actually useful. There was actually a use case scenario for Binding Shot. It came up sometimes. Now it's fun to press. Doesn't really do a whole lot. And it's still not really going to do a whole lot, but you know, yay. Scrappy reduces the cooldown of Intimidation. That's the important one. It does Binding Shot as well, but it reduces the cooldown of Intimidation whenever you Wildfire Bomb by 0.5 seconds. It's a small number, not really that big of a number, and not really gonna come up ever. I don't think you're ever gonna care about like saving, I don't know, 5 seconds off Intimidation, 10 seconds if you cast a lot of Wildfire Bombs. Maybe it comes up, but Mythic Plus you probably just take it depending on what talents you have left over. Yeah, it's a thing. This thing, oh my goodness, look at this. We've got an AoE stun. Is that what this is? We've finally got an AoE stun. We can be useful to a group. Not quite. Spoiler alert. It's not as good as an AoE stun. It's Intimidation. You stun a target for 5 seconds. You now randomly stun 2 extra targets for 2.5 seconds. So let me give you a little scenario. You're in Throne of the Tides. You've got that group of mobs where there's the melee guys, and then you've got the casters. And the casters, they're firing out constant water bolts at people. Those water bolts, they one-shot people. You need to stop every single one. You're like, don't worry guys, I'm here to save the day. You stun one of them. You interrupt his cast of water bolt because he's stunned. And then you randomly stun another 2 targets. You either hit the other guy who's casting water bolt and save somebody's life, or it randomly stuns 2 of the melee guys and the friend dies. Your teammate, he's dead now because you relied on this stun to save the day. and it didn't do it because it's random. So I don't know if this is good. There's not many packs where you're just fighting 3 mobs. You're usually fighting 5 mobs or more, so just having that randomness factor is not great. It's also a very short stun. You'd probably just rather have a group of people who can AoE stun constantly, AoE sigil, AoE, all that stuff. We don't have that power. We wish we did, but we didn't. Oh, we don't. We still don't. So this doesn't really fix things. I think it's nice that it's there, but it doesn't quite do a whole lot of anything in reality, even if it looks really exciting. But who knows? This is just me reading it. It might be the best thing ever, and people are like, wow, gotta bring that hunter, gotta get that RNG stun. But this thing does damage, so we take this. Attack speed, wow, it's okay. Not much to say really, it does damage, we take it. Explosive shot and steel trap, we got a choice node here. Steel trap no longer does as much damage. It used to do quite a bit of damage, it used to take it sometimes. Now, it's just a root, basically. It still puts the bleed on the target. It's just a very, very small bleed. So yeah, Steel Trap is basically just a root now. Which is, it's like, think of it like a Scare Beast, but you can cast it on anything. And it lasts the exact same amount of time. And it does damage. Wow. And you still won't use it, because it never really comes up. But if you ever need to root something, then you got Steel Trap there. High Explosive Trap is a knockback. It's still like it was before. Useful sometimes, not always useful. Sanguine, really useful. Knock things out of the Sanguine. It has some uses. I like it. It's a fun button to press. How do I get out of here? Okay, we've picked Explosive Trap. Keen Eyesight, crit strike chance. It's a boring one. It was here before, but we take it because crit chance is nice. Tire-coated bindings is not good. Increasing the root by 1 second, will that ever matter at all? No. Will we ever take it? No, of course not, so we ignore it. Maybe you take it if you got a spare talent, but it's so pointless. Bursting shot, we got bursting shot now, wow. PvP people are gonna love that on that battleground, the purple one where everything's really purple and pink and there's that bridge in the middle and you can knock people off the edge. People are gonna have a field day with a bursting shot and explosive trap. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, we're going to be like the go-to spec for Sanguine Week. We can knock them back with explosive trap, and we can knock them back with bursting shot. Incredible. Scatter shot, same as before. You're never really going to take it because it removes dots from targets, which is just so bad. So it really screws up people's DPS if you take it. It's not that great. But bursting shot, yeah, nice. Cost focus, don't know if I like that, but yeah, no, it's cool, it's cool. And the one below it as well, I'll read this. So it's you reduce its cooldown by 25 seconds. It becomes a 5-second cooldown if you drop below 5% health. It can come up. It probably will never come up, but it can come up. Very niche. We have a lot of niche talents. You probably realized a lot of these are really, really niche. It's sort of pointless, but yeah, a quick load. Wow. Camouflage, same as before. You can go invisible, useful in Mythic Plus. And yeah. Binding Shackle, same as before. Never really came up, never was useful. You never really cared about taking it. BM took it because they had to take it to go down the left side of the tree. Everybody else ignored it. So what we're going to do is we're going to ignore it. Wow, so fun. Look at these talents. Are we having a great time ignoring all the talents? I said this was good. I think it is a good talent tree. It just still kind of has a lot of... I mean, you can take all the useful stuff at least, and then you're just left with a load of random garbage that you can choose amongst. And I like that. I'm down for that. I'm down for choosing all these niche, pointless things. It's fun. So why not? Trailblazer, cool. Movement speed. We like movement speed. Kindling Flare. Stealth enemies revealed by flare remain revealed for 3 seconds after exiting flare. PvP talent only. This doesn't do anything in any single PvE scenario ever. Unless, imagine the War Within comes around and there's a certain mob that's invisible. Does it exist? I don't know, but just imagine for a second that there's a mob and it's invisible. You put a flare down, you reveal it, and then the mob dashes out with a flare, and then for 3 more seconds you can see it. Isn't that the best talent? Why is it? I think it's worse than Scare Beast and this Men Pet thing. Like that's impressive. With Blizzard and their ability to make the most pointless talent ever. Way to go. I love it. Yeah, we're never going to take this ever. I kind of wish it had a little bit extra. It's only a PvP thing. I get that it might be useful in PvP, but like, you know, just add a little thing to it for PvE, like something. So anyway, yeah, we ignore it. Obviously, we ignore it. Movement speed, don't mind if I do. Movement speed is fun. So Sure. It was here before on the talent tree. It's still there. Aurora Sacrifice was on the talent tree before. You might have not noticed because you probably never took it. It doesn't do anything in PvP. I mean, it does things in PvP. It does nothing in PvE. It's a PvP only talent. Again, like the flare thing and like Scare Beast and the Men Pet and half the other tree. So yeah, we ignore it. Unless they should really do something with Aurora Sacrifice. I don't get why they haven't. This thing does damage though, or it gives you crit strike. Amazing. It's actually damage, so we take it. Moment of opportunity. When a trap triggers, you gain aspect of the cheater for 3 whole seconds, and it can only occur every 1 minute. Yep, that's a thing. Traps give you movement speed. That's nice. It only can happen once every minute, but it's super niche. Everything's super niche, but it's so niche. I don't think this is ever going to come up in any situation. I don't think you're ever going to care. I mean, it has synergy with this thing, so if you keep getting slowed in a boss fight, you can actually stop that. Possibly will happen, who knows? But if it does happen, we're prepared. We're ready for it. Born to be Wild, basically the same as before. Ghillie Suit, you take 20% reduced damage while camouflage is active, and it persists 3 seconds after you leave camouflage. Weird. Defensive, yes. Camouflage you can't use in combat, so that means you have to drop combat by Feign Deathing and Feign Deathing your pet. Then you can get this 20% reduced damage for 3 seconds. That could come up. It's just awkward. It's so awkward. You should really be able to use camouflage in combat if they want this to work. Otherwise, weird. But could be super good. Who knows? Improved traps. I don't think I ever used this ever. I don't think anybody will use it. Maybe you will. Yep. Let's take this and this. This thing is really good. This thing actually does so much. 10% increased damage of your damage over time effects. That's like bomb dots. All your bleeds, your serpent stings, and it's increased to 50% in execute. It's kind of nuts. We're gonna do some big execute damage. This thing is probably the strongest talent I've seen on this whole tree. That's crazy. So yeah, obviously you can take that in Death Chakram as well. Death Chakram's good. It's great. I think I love this talent. The Feign Death and aspect of the total remove poison and disease effects from you. That's cool. I like that because we couldn't do that before. Now we can. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. It's niche. It doesn't come up all the time, but in some dungeons it will come up. Some boss fights it might even come up. So awesome. I'm just gonna take it because, well, we've got 2 talents left. I've taken most of the useful things. So really, you can pick whatever, like this thing and then this thing. Cool. Overall, I know like I've just gone through them and I've said this thing's niche, this thing's niche. I don't think that's a bad thing. You can take all the fun things and then you're left with a lot of random niche things and you can choose which ones you want depending on your circumstance and your situation. I like the tree overall. I do think it has a few too many talents that just don't do anything, which I kind of went over a lot. And I wish they did a little bit more, but just something niche. Not quite as niche as scaring a beast. Something a little bit more exciting. Or the flare thing. Like, just, yeah, overall though, super happy. I think it's a lot better than it was before. It had a lot of issues before. I don't think this one has that many issues apart from just dead talents, but I like it. So moving on to the other thing I like just a bit more, quite a bit more, because it's more exciting. It's the survival tree. This is so much different. This whole thing I like for the most part. It's exciting because it looks like the spec's going to play a lot different. So we're going to talk about it. First of all, kill command. You got to take kill command. It's still a core part of the spec as well as bombs and Raptor Strike. Quick comment about Raptor Strike. Why is this further down the tree now? This should be just a thing we already have. This shouldn't be on the talent tree. We should just have this passively. On Mop Remix, I made a new character, a new survival hunter to level up, and I was very confused why I had 0 melee abilities when I first created the character. You shouldn't have to level up to get melee abilities for a melee spec, in my opinion. It just feels weird to use ranged abilities with a stick. Because that's what you get. You get a stick at the start, and you're telling your pet to do stuff and everything. You're not actually doing anything yourself. The fact that it's further down the tree, even just by 1, means you get it later, which means that you do 0 melee abilities out the gate. You got 0 ways to spend focus, even though focus is your main thing. Even though it's only a few levels for a new person, it's going to feel really weird. So I just don't really get why we're moving it further down the tree. This should just be baseline. Really confusing. If we go down below Raptor Strike, we have Tip of the Spear, which is very different than it was before. Before, it was just this background thing, this thing you never even worried about or thought about at all. Now it has a big impact with how the spec plays. What it does is Kill Command increases the direct damage of your other spells by 15%, stacking up to 3 times. That's all your spells. Before it was just Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike, and now it's all your spells. Direct damage, I don't really get why it says direct. I don't quite know what that means. I'm just assuming it's all damage. Maybe that just is trying to say not trinkets and stuff. Don't totally get what it means by direct damage, but all your spells are going to do 15% extra damage after you Kill Command. So you Kill Command, you throw a bomb, it does 15% extra damage. You Kill Command, your Mongoose Bite, that Mongoose Bite's going to do 15% extra damage. This buff stacks up to 3 times, but not how it did before. Before, how it worked is it would stack up, so it would increase the damage by 15%, then 2 stacks was 30%, 3 stacks 45%. Now, it's 1 stack is 15%, 2 stacks is 15%, 3 stacks is 15%, but instead of consuming all the stacks, it only consumes 1 stack at a time. So you have 3 stacks, your Mongoose Bite, that Mongoose Bite is increased by 15%, and then you go down to 2 stacks at the tip of the spear. Use another Mongoose Bite, then that one is also buffed by 15%, and then you go down to 1 stack, and hopefully that makes sense. It might be a bit confusing, but you just have to... we'll explain, it'll make sense as we explain more of the talents, because a lot plays around with this. So we take that, and left side Guerrilla Tactics is the same as before. You're always going to take that, because 2 bombs is better than 1 bomb. Then we go down to the left. The melee range has just been increased its baseline now, so lunge just has the second effect it had before. This is the exact same as it was before. It was okay before, it'll probably be okay again. Quick shot wasn't that strong before, it was right at the bottom near the... It was right down here in the tree. Now they moved it up, which was smart because the fact it was at the bottom was a bit silly. Now it's at the top, it's an okay talent. Tuning wise, we'll say if this is good or not. Mongoose Bite, it was the core ability of the spec, not so much anymore, but it's still Mongoose Bite. Everybody loves a good Mongoose Bite. We take it. Flanker's Advantage, this is a big talent. This is to do with tip of the spear. So, first line is the same as before. Kill Command has a 10% chance to immediately reset itself when you press it. Same as before, but now we've got the added thing where it increases to 100% when Kill Command critically strikes, which means you press a Kill Command, it crits, you get a free Kill Command. There's not as much RNG, which, nice, you want more crit. Something else that makes you want more crit. Tip of the spear's damage bonus is increased up to 100% based on your critical strike chance. This is kind of crazy. So, say you have 40% crit. I'm pretty sure that means that this buff you get, this 15% buff, if you have 40% crit, it's going to go up to 55%. If you have 30% crit, 45%. You have 50% crit, 65%. It's pretty big damage. So crit, you want a lot of crit. This thing is a must take, I feel like, especially with tip of the spear. Oh, how they have done Harpoon dirty. Why is Harpoon all the way down here? Everybody likes Harpoon, everybody wants to take Harpoon. But can you justify taking Harpoon when it's this far down on the tree? This should be baseline. Why isn't this baseline? People like a good Harpoon. It's kind of frustrating that you have to take it when it's down here. You're going to have to fight against actual damage things now. You're probably not going to want to take it very often. It's painful. It's painful. They should just make this base. Why is this not baseline in terms of engagement? This could be a talent, sure. The Harpoon, though, that's just silly. Why is it down here? Alpha Predator, it's back. We have Alpha Predator back in our actual tree, and we'll take it because it's not too hard to take. I can't imagine us not taking it. Very nice to have 2 charges of Kill Command. Oh, it's back! Bloody Claws, the survival hunter community that memed on this talent for a long time throughout all of Dragonflight. Did anybody take it in a single situation? No, they did not. Does that stop Bloody Claws? Does it make Bloody Claws run away off the talent tree? No, it stays. And you know what? It's got even worse. So, take that. Players, I don't know, why is this back? I don't know, dude. This one is, it confuses me. Because it's worse than before as well. Because we've got this whole... Kill Command resets itself 100% of the time when it crits. So that means this is going to be less often that this even is relevant. At best, it's 10% when you got 5 stacks of Mongoose Bite. I love that it's back, though. I don't even mind. We're never going to take it again, but, like... It's just... It's here again. I like the persistence. I like that, you know, Blizzard knows the secret tech. Blizzard knows that Bloody Claws is the true talent, and as soon as somebody takes it, they're gonna pop off. Just nobody's dead yet. Nobody's dead to take it. Butchery is the same as before. Cav is now out. They scrapped Cav. Cav didn't make it. Bloody Claws stayed around. Cav also terrible. Didn't do anything, but that one left. That one's out of here. Butchery was way cooler anyway. Nobody's gonna miss Cav. This one requires quick shot, and it's every 3 quick shots replaced with an explosive shot, 100% effectiveness. Really cool. I don't know, it's like rolling a RNG slot machine, right? In single target, it's fine. In AoE, it's going to feel really good or really bad. There's going to be times where you're fighting an ad pack and it explodes at the perfect time with all the enemies there. And then there's times where you kill all the enemies, there's one enemy left, and then it procs. And then you get that 3rd quick shot, and you're just like, oh, well, damn. That was pointless. Guess I'm going to have to get really lucky again and hope it procs on the next pack. And yeah. I don't know if it's actually good. I feel like it's not going to be great in AoE, but it might be. Yeah, I think it's just the RNG factor, which... yeah, a little bit of RNG though. We like a little bit of RNG. This talent's the exact same. It was 25%, now it's only 8%, but numbers don't matter right now, so cool. Passive damage amp, yay. Wildfire Infusion, Mongoose Bite, and Raptor. Well, first I should actually specify, this is different. Before Wildfire Infusion, it was a very different thing. People really liked it. It made your bombs colourful. You had a green one, you had a blue one, and you had a red one. They didn't really do anything, but they were colourful, and people like little interactions. I liked the little interactions. I thought Wildfire Infusion was really cool. I don't know why they scrapped it. I think maybe they thought, oh, it's just too much complexity when we've got this new tip of the spear mechanic, and it's gonna confuse people's minds. So they got rid of all the colors, and now it's just the normal wildfire bomb. It does ignite now, which means that if you throw a bomb and then you throw a bomb after that, instead of overwriting that first bomb dot, it will instead add the second bomb dot to the first bomb dot, which is really cool. It's really good. It fixes a lot of the bomb issues. Great change. It should have been done a while ago, to be honest, but it's done now, so amazing. Wildfire Infusion, yeah, people will be a bit sad that it's gone, I can imagine, but a lot of good things have come out of this talent tree. I don't mind losing a good thing to get more good things. It's a small sacrifice. Wildfire Infusion now, though, Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike have a 15% chance to reset the Kill Command's cooldown, which just means we have more ways to reset Kill Command's cooldown, and Kill Command reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb by 2 seconds, which is actually quite significant in a way. Like, I mean, we're reducing it with Butchery. Calv's gone. We're reducing it with Butchery when we take Frenzy Strikes, and we're also reducing it with Kill Command. We're going to be throwing bombs for days. We're going to have so many bombs. So this is a thing. Aspect of the Eagle, we didn't really care about taking it before, and it was at the top of the tree. Why are we ever going to take it now that it's midway on the tree, and we're going to give up damage options for Aspect of the Eagle? Really? No, this is never going to get taken. Maybe like there'll be a very niche time where you take it. I don't know why it's here, but it is. So it's at the left corner of the star, the harpoon's on the right corner of the star. It's thematic. It looks pretty, I guess. That's why they did it. Little eagle. Oh, I've just realized this little eagle head. This is the front of the talent tree, is the eagle head, and this is his body. It's like this. There's the legs. It's got a little turtle shell, and there's his tail. The harpoon's the tail. Oh my god, I've worked it out. It's genius. Whoever made this talent tree is a genius. The artwork, incredible. Grenade Juggler. So this talent's cool. Wildfire Bomb deals 5% increased damage. Yeah, fine, sure. And has a 25% chance to reset the cooldown of Explosive Shot. Whoa, all the explosive shots. And then to top it off, Explosive Shot reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb by 4 seconds. More bomb cooldown reduction. More bombs means more explosive shots. It's just going to be bombs and explosive shots, and I think that could be pretty fun. I like it. Thumbs up from me. Flanking Strike. This was one of the things at the top of most people's lists of things they wanted to change because people hated the fact that it leaps to target. Hopefully they fixed it where you don't leap in melee range still, because it's not affected by the increased range that lunge gave. It's so bad to leap to a target when you're already in melee range and then kill yourself because the boss is in fire or something like that. It happened all the time. Why is it still there? I don't know. But Flanking Strike is essentially the same thing. It's still a button that makes no sense, really, because it's like a better kill command, but kill command has all these interactions which make pressing Flanking Strike just feel weird. It does have that bonus line of the text where it says tip of the spear grants an additional 15% damage bonus to Flanking Strike, which just means that you kill command, you get a stack of tip of the spear, and then when you press Flanking Strike with that stack, it's going to make Flanking Strike deal a little bit extra damage. It's going to deal 15% extra damage, which is interaction. Interaction is good, and Flanking Strike needs more interaction. It's just still a bit confusing, really, so I don't know about Flanking Strike still. Frenzy Strike's the same as before, but yeah, good talent. Merciless Blows, this one's quite exciting. So now casting Butchery makes our next Raptor Strike or Mongoose Bite hit 3 targets. Didn't think they were going to do this. I've wanted them to do this for a while because Mongoose Bite is a fun button. Making it cleave just adds to the fun. It's extra fun. I don't think it's super strong in AoE. I think Mongoose Bite is still going to be that filler spell. You're not going to prioritize it over bombs or explosive shot or whatever. But it's nice. It's going to be really good for 2 target cleave. It's going to be really good for 3 target cleave for some boss fights and everything. So I think this is just, I mean, I don't know if you probably will take Butcher and 2 target cleave. I'm thinking about stuff. I'm thinking in my mind if how good this really is. I don't think it's super strong, but it's really neat. And it's probably going to make you do a Butchery and then bomb or whatever. But before you press your second Butchery, you're probably going to press a Mongoose Bite beforehand. Something else to track. But yeah, really fun. Ace Staff for fun. Love it. Amazing. Viper's Venom, Raptor Strike, Mongoose Bite, apply 7 CG to target. 100% chance instead of 30%. Why not? Brilliant, cool. It was already basically 100% uptime at 30%, so this is just, yeah, solid. Great. Another great change. Amazing. Bloodseeker is the same as before, but it's further down the tree. It was up at the top of the tree before. Now it's down in the middle with Harpoon. You have to take Harpoon to get it, which might incentivize you to get a Harpoon. I think it makes it harder to get Bloodseeker. I think it's a bit harder to get now. But it was strong before. I imagine it's still strong now. We no longer have Blue Bomb, however, so we don't get the big attack speed in AoE because you can't easily put a bleed on targets as you could before, but it's still, yeah. Terms of engagement, yep, still the same. Okay, and now we have the most insane talent, I think on any tree. I think this might be the most powerful talent in the existence of all talents. Each damage over time effect on a target increases the critical strike damage they receive from you by 2%. What does that mean? That means that any single damage over time effect from anyone on an enemy increases your crit damage by 2%. So, in a raid, there's a lot of specs that put a lot of damage over time effects on a target. This is going to go really, really high. 2% might not sound like a lot, but if you just think of survival by itself, you've got Serpent Sting, that's a damage over time effect. You've got Bombs, damage over time effect. You've got Bloodseeker if you take it, another damage over time effect. You've got Steel Trap if you take Steel Trap, that's another damage over time effect. And the new Spearhead, also another damage over time effect. That's 5 that you can possibly get with survival. Maybe there's more, I can't think of any off the top of my head. But that's at least 5. That means you have 10% just from yourself. Don't even mention the other 19 people in your group who might possibly be putting other damage over time effects on the target. This is nuts. It's insane. There's no way it's staying the same. On paper, at least, this looks busted. Everything on this tree wants us to stack crit. This wants us to stack crit like just pure crit, nothing else, just crit, because damn, that's good. So yeah, very good talent. I can't imagine it staying the same. It's broken. It's nuts. Contagious reagents. Reapplying Serpent Sting to a target also spreads it up to 2 nearby enemies, a bit like the Mongoose Bite one, but this is on Serpent Sting instead. It's pretty much just Hydra's Bite. We had Hydra's Bite before, and now we have it again, but it's got a different name. So nice. Pretty good for AoE, I guess. Pretty good for cleave. Not much to really say about it. Yeah, good. 𝐓𝐢𝐦𝐭𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐬. What a fun sounding title, and what a boring talent. Well, I don't know about boring. It just seems bad though, right? Like, kill shot, critical strikes, reset the cooldown of kill command. You're barely gonna press kill shot. You get to do it a bit more with coordinated assault, but in reality, you're not pressing it very often. It's not always gonna crit, so you very rarely get a free kill command. Does not seem good at all. Also, if you take this, you make a Bloody Claws worse because you're getting free resets on your kill command more often, meaning this is more useless. And just, do you really want to put Bloody Claws down even more? Hell no. Why would you take 𝐓𝐢𝐦𝐭𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐬? Honestly, it's not. It doesn't sound very good. It sounds pretty bad to me. On paper, it sounds bad. In practice, maybe it sims well. I don't know, but it's kind of whatever. Technical advantages, we already had this, so yeah. Explores flank. Your flanking strike explodes weakness. The first line is just flavor, but what it does is it increases kill command damage by 10% and causes your kill command to hit 2 additional enemies for 10 seconds. How good is that? Pretty mediocre damage wise. The fun interaction it has is if you get Bloodseeker, it means that you can cleave the bleeds again, which gives you more attack speed, which also cleaves bleeds for the Outland Venom, so you get extra crit damage. And then there's some interaction going on with this, and I like the interaction. How good is it? I don't know. It's okay in AoE and cleave. Otherwise, yeah. Ranger, we had this before. It's a bit not quite as good because we could stack it up to 2 times, meaning we could have 40% increased damage. Now we can only have a max of 20% increased damage. but it's still really good for 1 point. It's super good for explosive shots, since we're pressing explosive shot all the time now, so extra damage from explosive shot is fun. So good talent, really cool. Okay, now we're getting to the 3 capstone talents. I need to get 1 more point so we get that. So we have 1 down here with Fury of the Eagle, we have 1 with Coordinated Assault, and we have 1 with Spearhead. Worst part of this tree is all 3 of these are guarded by these 2-point nodes that none of them are fun. So if you want to have the fun talent, you have to brave the trenches. You got to get through these terrible, boring. By the way, this is 0.5%. That's obviously not right. It's beta still. They'll change the number. But these talents: kill command damage, mongoose bite damage, and then we have bomb cooldown reduction. And yeah, it's just a bit lame. You know, you have to take these 2-point nodes to get to the actual good talents you want to take. You don't really want to take any of these for the most part. Maybe the wildfire bomb one's not too bad now, but they're all a bit lame. It's like eating your vegetables before you get your food or your dessert or whatever. People just want the dessert. People don't want to have to eat vegetables. I don't know why Blizzard thinks this is a good idea. But anyway, so we've got these boring 2-point nodes. You get 1 of them. You get to have your fun, exciting cooldown. Our big cooldown for the spec is Coordinated Assault. This is the big cooldown. Before we had 2 big cooldowns with Coordinated Assault and Spearhead. It's pretty much just Coordinated Assault now. Spearhead is more of like a little extra addition that you want to use with Coordinated Assault, which I know, right? Very different from what we had in Dragonflight. So Coordinated Assault, pretty much the same. There is 1 big difference, and that is that instead of having 4 kill shots in the window, you'll now only have 2 kill shots. This means that we won't have to use the macro anymore, because you don't have to play around kill shot like you did before, because you're not having to press as many kill shots. This is huge. The cooldown still kind of sucks. I mean, hopefully they've fixed it, but Wildfire Bomb, the part of this cooldown where it says Wildfire Bomb increases initial damage by 20%, it's never worked properly. It's been bugged the entire time it's been on live, so hopefully that actually gets fixed. But I mean, the cooldown itself is kind of whatever. People don't really like it. People actually hated it with a passion. So I'm surprised it's still quite similar, but it's not quite as bad. And if you take it, it opens up some fun things though. So don't worry, the rest is fun. Bombardier. When you cast Coordinated Assault, you get 2 charges of Wildfire Bomb. That's the same as before. It was pretty good in single target before. It's also pretty good in AoE. When Coordinated Assault ends, Explosive Shot has its cooldown reduced by 100% and its focus cost reduced by 100% as well for 4 seconds. This means when Coordinated Assault ends, you can spam Explosive Shots for 4 seconds. And that's really cool. That's actually really cool. I really like that. This is fun. In a way, it's kind of weird, right? Because Coordinated Assault itself is a very boring talent. No one's really having fun in Coordinated Assault. But as soon as it ends, as soon as this cooldown's over, you get to have a blast. You get to have the funnest time. So it's kind of strange to have this big cooldown where the funnest part of it is when it ends. You're most excited when it comes to an end, which I don't know if that's a good thing, but I like the whole explosive shot bit. I think that's really cool. So I like that. Then you can either reduce the cooldown of Coordinated Assault by 60 seconds. That just means you get to have more fun explosive shot time in AoE. Very fun. And then you have this. Let me read it. It's quite a long one. So Coordinated Assault sends you and your pet into a state of primal power. Wow, you gotta love the lore text. And then for the duration of Coordinated Assault, kill command generates 1 additional stack of Tip of the Spear. You gain 10% haste, and Tip of the Spear's damage bonus is increased by 50%. What does all this mean? Well, when you press kill command, you'll get, instead of 1 stack of Tip of the Spear, you'll get 2 stacks, which means you can kill command and then you can throw a bomb. It consumes a stack. Then you can mongoose bite, it consumes a stack. It's pretty much like you'll be doing a rotation of kill command, 2 abilities, kill command, 2 abilities, kill command, 2 abilities. That's pretty much the rotation during Coordinated Assault. You get 10% haste, why not? Sure, cool. And then Tip of the Spear's damage bonus is increased by 50%. That means if you've got, let's say, 40% crit, Tip of the Spear is now 55%, but it's now got an extra 50%. So that means you're in Coordinated Assault. Your abilities will be doing 105% extra damage if you have 5% crit. You might have more crit, you might have less crit. If that is in fact how it works, I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but also not sure. This also says up to 100%, so I think maybe it caps out at 100%, but I'm not sure if that's just the flanker's advantage part and it doesn't actually add in this talent. It's all a bit confusing. I really need to play with it still, but that's what I'm getting with this. And that's really fun. I think it's actually made Coordinated Assault a fun talent. Talent itself still sucks, but these two are very fun. Now, I said Spearhead is actually good to use along Coordinated Assault, which is weird because it's never been the case. In Dragonflight, Spearhead was completely different. The weird part about these changes, at least for me, in a way, is so Spearhead before. People liked Spearhead. People thought Spearhead was fun. People despised coordinated assault. People hated this so much they just wanted out of the game. So what Blizzard did is they kept coordinated assault, and then they removed the fun thing that people liked, and it's just it's an interesting tactic. I like the bravery. I like the commitment. They knew coordinated assault would be loved one day, and hopefully we will actually like get this expansion. But anyway, say you get Spearhead. Spearhead now is basically just the Season 3 2 set. You and your pet charge the enemy, apply a heavy bleed, and increase your chance to critically strike your target by 30% for 10 seconds. Deadly Duo below it just makes it a 1 minute cooldown, and also makes it so your crit damage against target is increased by 30%, which means when you press Spearhead for 10 seconds, you'll be doing more crits, and those crits will be bigger. This works really well with coordinated assault because, well, you like bigger crits and more often. It means your kill shots during this window will be critting more, and they'll be doing more damage, which, you know, works well with improved kill shot. Just, I mean, everything about this whole thing, you'll be doing more damage, and those bigger damage numbers will be increased even more because you'll be critting with them more often, and you'll be doing bigger crits with them. It's like they line up perfectly, so you'll be playing them together, which is, yeah, I mean, it's cool, I guess. I don't know, there's not really much to say. You can make them both 1 minute if you want. I don't think there's much point. At least in single target, you'll probably be doing this in single target, and I personally think it's pretty dope. I'm a fan. I'm excited to try it, even though I do quite miss how Spearhead did play before. I thought it was pretty fun, but I like this new iteration as well. And I guess in AoE you'd be taking Fury of the Eagle still. Basically plays the same apart from Ruthless Marauder. It did get a bit of a nerf. The 1 point node is now buffed, and then the 2 point node is now nerfed. So there's not really much point ever getting the 2 point node. If let me just pretend we get the 2 point node. There's very little difference with getting the 2 point node, and it's probably never worth getting. So a bit weird, but yeah, Fury of the Eagle still cool. It's like Fist of Fury for a monk, very fun. And I've talked a lot. I'm not going to go over the... These are probably going to change. Pack Leader has got a lot of hate. People really despise this thing. I don't really get why. It doesn't seem that bad. It's like not the most fun I get, but it works really well with our new talent tree. And there's some fun interactions like this kill shot, doing extra damage over time, and it puts a bleed on them and do more bleed damage. It's just, it works. There's some really cool interactions, but sadly, people hate it. So... I mean, maybe it'll be more fun. Hopefully they make some more fun changes to it. Sentinels, pretty dope. I'm not going to go through them though because I've talked a lot. I've talked too much. My head's spinning. I'm happy though. I've had a blast looking at these. I'm so excited to try them. And yeah, I mean, any opinions of yours, put them in the comments. Just talk about survival. I'm down to answer any questions. And this is just the first impressions. I haven't played with them yet. Things might be different. I'm not really saying which ones are the best because you don't really know, but also you can kind of get an opinion of what you'll probably be playing. Yeah, I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll catch you later. Bye.